1.
Welcome back to Inside Boxing's Throwdown. My name is Steve Johnson. I co-host Aurelio Martinez. Up until now, we've had a great time talking about some fight action that happened this past weekend. And that was just the main event, which was the
talk about Floyd
and Berto. But now, there were some excellent fights this weekend, and we want to touch on those real quick. A lot of them. No radio. Let's start off with Friday. I know you were in Puerto Rico, so I don't know if you got to see these fights that were on. First off in Las Vegas, where we had the Cosmopolitan of Las Vegas, where we had the main event, Oscar Valdez taking on Chris Avalos. That was a pretty good fight. I don't know if you had a chance to see it, but Avalos was down in the third round, and finally in the fifth they stopped it. Oscar Valdez came away with a TKO win. Then in the super middleweight action, we had Jesse Hart taking on Aaron Pryor Jr., which we knew was going to be a mismatch, just mainly because Jesse Hart was so much bigger than taller and longer and reach with Aaron Pryor Jr. Aaron Pryor Jr. Actually, Aurelio was a major letdown to me. Building up to the fight, he had run his mouth big time. I'm just like my dad and this and that. He did nothing. His corner was actually begging him to throw punches. This dude was absolutely horrible. Did you have a chance to see in Puerto Rico any of the fights?
I didn't see Friday's fights. I was at the beach, so I didn't get to see it. All I saw was the reports and the stuff on the internet talking about the fight. So
yeah, Jesse Hart. Most of Americans that have followed, the amateur scene, and they know Jesse Hart was a highly decorated amateur, and you expected a lot from him. Actually, that fight was stopped in the 9th round, finally. But Jesse Hart should have taken him out earlier. I was very disappointed. I'm hoping that he'll get his stuff together. Then we had the fight with my boy, and I want everybody to remember this because you like to crack on me for certain fighters that I try to get people to watch. But Mike Reed from Waldorf, Maryland.
Okay.
Mike Reed is a southpaw. Okay, I followed him in Mike since 2009 from his amateurs coming on up through USA Boxing. And Mike Reed fought a kid named Antonio Canas. Mike stopped him in the 5th round. The biggest thing about Canas is 35 years old. Okay, his record at the time was like I think he was 10-1, something like that. But more important, it was an experience factor for Mike to go against a guy that was experienced, and Mike stopped him. But Mike Reed, that's a name that you want to keep your eyes on. Okay.
let me tell you guys, if you're an up and coming boxer, and you're starting to get some name recognition out there, the last person you want to pick you as a potential contender or a champion is my man here, okay? His record is not real good, so write him an email, editor@insideboxing.com.
Okay.
Tell him, please don't pick me. Secretly, yes, but don't pick me because that's the kiss of death.
That's cool. I'm gonna move on from that, okay? I'm gonna talk about another fight card that we had on Saturday where we had Cornelius Brundridge and Jamaro Charlo in the main event in the Foxwoods Resort up there in Mashantucket, Connecticut. Brundridge finally was able to stop Charlo. Charlo stopped Brundridge in the 3rd round.
I expected more from that fight real quick. We don't want to talk about that too much because it was such a mismatch.
Yeah.
Brundridge was, I got a new name for him, okay?
Here you go.
What's his ring name?
K9.
K9, okay? Forget about that K9. He's now the yo-yo. Okay, that boy was going down and up and down, and he was like a Wrigley spearmint gum, wobbling. It was such a mismatch, it wasn't even funny, man. But I just wanted to say that, Charlo, you did your job. Now go on and move to bigger and better things.
Well, Jamal and Jamel Charlo, the twin brothers, they're definitely a factor. Those boys can fight.
Yes, they are.
And you heard them calling out. They let it be known that they plan on controlling the light middleweight division,
and they
154,
can. And
you're
they can.
damn right they can.
They can.
And they said they're looking for Canelo. They actually mentioned Canelo and Cotto. They're looking for them. I don't know about that right now, but
they'll be Canelo. They'll be Canelo. Yeah.
Excuse me?
They'll be Canelo.
Go ahead. What about Cotto? Okay. But anyway, we got to move on because we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Real quick, on that fight card, like I said, we have Brundridge, and then on the undercard of Floyd and Berto, we had excellent fights. Badu Jack stopped George Grove. No, it was a split decision. Badu Jack clearly won the fight. Then we had Rowan Martinez, Orlando Salido, split decision. Another one with excellent fight.
Great fight.
Wait a minute. Then we had Vanes Martrozin, where he stopped Well, he got a middle decision against Ishe Smith, which was ridiculous. That should have been unanimous. No, Smith was down in the third and the eighth rounds.
Twice in that fight.
And then we had Johnny Gonzalez and Jonathan Quindo. Quindo, again, it was a middle decision in favor of the Puerto Rican fighter. The two Mexican fighters on Saturday night got robbed. Radio Mexico clearly won both of their fights. Take that for what you want to, fans, but that was a travesty in my mind. Let's move on. I know that there was something that we wanted to talk about, and that's our amateurs. But before we talk about what happened this past weekend in the amateurs, we got a USBL announcement.
Well, we just want to talk a little bit about the USBL because this is an organization that I founded 5 years ago, and it's the United States Boxing League. And the whole purpose of founding this organization was not to compete with any other amateur organization. It was to make amateur boxing more credible, to give another avenue to the amateurs to gain experience and to gain the knowledge of boxing, to prepare them into the pro scene. There's always been a problem with amateurs making that transition from fighting amateur and then going into the pros. It's been very difficult, and the USBL is made to give them that avenue so they can jump into the pros and be successful and have a successful career in the pros. We've been 5 years into the thing and we're going good. Next year, I just want to let everybody know that next year we're actually going to have our national championships for the USBL, and so we'll have 4 regional contest shows, events that will be exactly like the time zones. Okay, your Mountain Time, your Central Time, your Eastern Time, and your Pacific Time. Okay, we'll have 4 of them with the winners all meeting up for a national championship. So just go to usboxingleague.com, okay? And then you can go to the amateur division because there is some professional action going on there too, but you can go to the amateur division and kind of see that. Boxers, you got another avenue. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of this whole organization. Get your recognition. Get yourself prepared and pave your way, the pathway to the professionals. Okay?
All right. This past weekend on the Pathway to Glory Olympic Trials qualifiers, we had men's, women, and action, and men and women's action. Where Philadelphia, there were men, 20 of them qualified. Heading to the final qualifier for the men, and the women, they're actually set for the Olympic trials. The final qualifier for the men radio and for the Olympic trials for the women will both be held in conjunction down in, I think it's Nashville or
Tennessee.
Memphis. Is it Memphis
it's
or
in
Nashville?
Tennessee, yeah.
Yeah, it's in Tennessee, and I can't remember. I think it's in Memphis. Okay, but it's October 26th to the 31st, and we had 20 that qualified for the men, and the 6 women qualified. Just real quick, the 6 women were Jamie Mitchell and Giovanna Camacho, Tiara Brown and Samantha Kinchin, Franchon Cruz, and Aisha Kenny. Franchon Cruz was actually voted the tournament outstanding boxer, and it was in her own town, so I know Franchon really appreciated that. All of these girls I'm very familiar with, Franchon and Tiara especially. Giovanna Camacho is from Colorado Springs, so it was really good to have somebody from Colorado there. From the men, real quickly, the men, we had Adrian Servin at 108, Leroy Davila at 108 and 114. We had Jay Crenshaw, Christian Cardo at 114. At 123 pounds, we had Michaela Montgomery and Shakira Stevenson. At 132, we had Israel Mercado and Elijah Pierce. At 141, we had Jerron Ennis and Jermaine Ortiz Rodriguez. At 152, we had Paul Kroll and Mark Dawson. At 165, we had LaShawn Rodriguez and Trevor Lattimore. At 178, we had Jonathan Esquivel and Elvis Figueroa. And 201, Hakeem Lopez and Adrian Taylor. At 201 plus, we had Manasseh Rakaoda, Inglewood, California, and 201, Alante Green. Okay, so we're all set just about. We're going to this final qualifier for the men radio.
We have one more.
This one, winding down.
Yeah.
But for the women, we're all set.
Women are all set.
InsideBoxing.com might have to have a representative down there in Memphis to let you guys know firsthand what's going to happen
Exactly.
at these the final qualifier, and then Olympic trials for the women. it's very exciting now for us. Our women's program is right on point. I'm expecting us to at least get 2 gold medals in this 2016 Olympics in Rio de Janeiro. Possibly 3 by the women.
By the women, because the men are going to have a hard time.
Up in there.
Men are going to have a hard time, and that's not a secret. I mean, but the women are actually doing very well, and I want to congratulate every one of them, just as you said, because that plate is full now. It's set. Okay, so now they'll start their qualifiers, the actual liquid qualifiers to put the Olympic team that will be going and fighting for the United States in the actual Olympics. The men's, we have the final
Round 2
event, the qualifier that's going to take a bit, and then they will box off and have the box off to put together the men's team. But you know, Steve, again, you know, the women, we gotta tip our hats off to them because they're working hard and they're producing. The men's, they just have something wrong with that whole mechanism there, because I cannot believe that we're sending the best athletes out there to represent the United States of America. As a matter of fact, we have had 2, possibly 3 young men that have qualified for the Olympic trials, and they opted to go out and turn professional. Okay, so that tells you something about, here they're so close to going to the Olympics and winning a medal and making their professional career that much more valuable, but they opt to not go through that process because of how garbled up everything is, and there's really nothing there, so they're going professional. So
well, to all of them, I have to congratulate everybody, because as you know,
but we don't know the men's yet.
I'm saying to everybody, no, just to qualify to go to the Olympic trials is an achievement in itself. Everyone that's going, from the men and the women, you know, to qualify, that's an achievement, and we got to give them credit for that. All the rest of the stuff with USA Boxing and IBN, the whole thing. There's going to be some major changes that are coming in the United States after the Olympics. No,
let's hope they fix it.
No, I don't know if they can fix it. But there's going to be major changes in USA Boxing on the men's side for sure.
I agree.
After the Olympics, the women, they've already got a new coach that is lined in.
Let's just hope, Steve. Let's just hope that it's not an abolishment by the USOC to do away with boxing, participating in boxing as an Olympic event for the USA, because they just may well do that. You know, they did the wrestling. You know, when something's not working, something's broken.
They finally had it.
They try to fix it, and if you can't fix it, then the next thing is just eliminate it. So let's just hope that worst case scenario doesn't come up.
That would be a major travesty, but that's going to involve a lot of the pros now that came up through USA Boxing. Sugar Ray Leonard,
Oscar De La Hoya,
Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Yeah.
USA Boxing is going to have to make a concerted effort to get all these guys back on board.
But okay.
All right.
But anyhow, that leaves us for this week's. Stay tuned for next week's, and we'll do it again. We'll bring you the good boxing talk. You want something to talk about? You got something on your mind? Again.
Editor at InsideBoxing.com. That would be Aurelio Martinez. Like I said, if you don't agree with what he says, make sure you flood that email box. You guys have been doing a real good job of that. I get to see them all too, so I know he filters out the bad.
Hey man,
I read the bad.
The best email was that, hey, you guys know what you're talking about. The black guy don't know what he's talking about, but
he put that in under his name. I remember that.
But it's all about boxing, and people like one thing and people like the other thing. It doesn't make one wrong and one right. It just makes it your preference to boxing. So tell us what we like.
And more important, like you see what we do all the time, we have fun.
That's
okay?
right.
There's nobody, like you said, that's really right or wrong. We enjoy what we do. Just enjoy talking boxing. We know that you enjoy talking boxing and listening boxing. So, having said that,
keep them hands up, baby.
Keep them up.
And we'll see you next